Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. So I have some very exciting news for all of you that I wanted to actually present but also discuss a bit, as we've got more details, a lot more details actually, on the micro missiles ability for D.Va that is coming fairly soon. So normally the Overwatch devs don't really tend to give us a lot of stats and numbers and so on, but there was a thread on the Battle.net forums asking for micro missile stats, and Geoff Goodman actually delivered here and gave us a load of info, which gives us a very good idea of how powerful the micro missiles actually are, and to some degree maybe even a better idea of how good the micro missiles are than from just seeing a short video of the ability or seeing maybe a preview video of it, as we actually have damage stats and all that sort of stuff, so we can do some calculations and try to figure out what D.Va's new burst damage will sort of be. But anyway, let's get started. Here are these stats. So contrary to what I thought actually would happen, and I think many people, there are actually a total of 18 micro missiles fired. Shots per second is 11, so that makes this a total of about a 1.6 second duration for the ability. The explosion damage is 8 and it has damage follow, so similar to Pharah's rockets, but one rocket just does 8, and then the further away you are, the less damage the explosion does. The impact damage is 4, so if you hit a direct impact with one rocket, you should deal 12 damage. The radius for the rocket is 1.5, and for comparison, Pharah's rockets are 2.5 meter in radius, and the cooldown is 8 seconds. So you get a pretty good idea of the ability here, and Geoff Goodman does also say that obviously these are subject to change, and I'm sure you guys will get a better feel for them when we get the PTR up. But let's do a little bit of math here and figure out the total damage of this if all of the rockets hit direct impact, which is fairly unlikely I guess, but I thought it'd still be interesting to calculate. So we have the explosion damage and impact damage, making it 12 a total if a rocket actually hits, and we have 18 rockets a total, so that's 12 times 18. That is a total of 216 damage, which might not seem like a lot compared to, I don't know, a Hanzo arrow or just one Pharah rocket hitting direct impact, but that's not really the point here. The main thing about these rockets is that they're fairly versatile, and Geoff Goodman actually commented on this in the same thread with a bunch of other comments. So they fly about as fast as Pharah rockets, sure. But here's the thing, there's a wind up of half a second before you can actually start firing. So you press the ability, half a second passes, and then you start firing. Sort of similar to May's alternative fire where there's a little bit of a wind up, and you cannot cancel these rockets either. They will do self damage if you're up close. However, and this is the big thing, and we already knew this, but I want to just underline it again, that firing these rockets doesn't stop you from moving, using other abilities, shooting your gun, and so on. They just fire by themselves once you press the button, and the only thing that stops them is dying or being stunned. So imagine that stunned part sort of similar to the Pharah rocket barrage, I guess. If she's stunned just at the start, she barely gets any rockets off, and then that's that. The ability is done. But overall, this is a very versatile ability in the way that you can actually fly around whilst using it and do other stuff as well. There are few abilities that are like this in Overwatch, so this is a pretty solid change overall, and I'm really interested in trying this out. With D.Va being changed to more of an aggressive hero, her burst combo is actually more important than before, and currently she can do 80 damage with flying up to someone, hitting them with that impact, shooting a bit, and then doing a melee attack. But now that she can also shoot when flying, you can sort of see that doing about 100 damage in total burst. And now with the rockets as well, which can be used during all of this, I guess you can activate them just as you're using defense matrix when flying, or just afterwards, or something like that. It doesn't seem too unlikely that you can do another 100 burst damage, making it a total of 200 damage, which means that D.Va has a fairly reliable way to burst down squishy heroes. This is really interesting, as Blizzard devs have actually said earlier, regarding D.Va in particular, that they didn't really want her to be that bully style hero that can fly in on her own and get solo kills, and instead wanted her to be more of a tank. She became more of a Reinhardt replacement or helper or whatever you want to call it over time, but now she's back in this more aggressive role that she was in way earlier this year in January, and before that as well. So I'm really interested to see how this turns out, but overall the damage does seem fairly promising. Definitely do keep in mind the original dev comment talking about these D.Va changes as well though, saying that overall the goal here is to reduce her reliance on defense matrix and make her more fun to play. As far as balancing goes, we want to nerf defense matrix as an ability, not D.Va as a hero. And it's a very interesting way to go about it, judging from what they said before as well. Defense matrix has felt so essential to D.Va just because so much damage is being thrown around in this game all the time, so it's going to be interesting to see how she performs with that ability being not nearly as effective as before. The micro missiles are looking very promising overall though, and on paper these micro missiles do look like they will allow D.Va to burst down heroes fairly quickly, or at least take out a squishy here and there, and with a cooldown of 8 seconds, and having the rockets be as fast as fire rockets. They fly in a straight line, by the way, as well. There's no arc or anything like that. It seems like these will be fairly easy to use. So now the only thing left is to actually try this out in game, which I'm hoping that we'll be able to do very soon. But I have to say that I am very thankful that Blizzard are being this transparent about game changes. This allows us to get a better idea of what's going on, if I personally want to play this hero or not, what she is capable of, and just allows for deeper insight into the game and meta changes and just this hero in particular. So yeah, D.Va looking very interesting right now, coming onto the PTR soon, I'm hoping. That's all for the D.Va micro missiles changes though. There is, however, one additional update to the upcoming Season 6 changes for competitive play. There was a dev update with Geoff talking about it, and then some other bits and bobs here and there. However, now there's another update, and it has to do with the skill tiers. So essentially, the big thing here is that people in silver, gold, platinum, and diamond can now drop into lower skill tiers. Before, if you hit a skill tier in particular, so diamond for example, and you drop down to platinum, you would still keep your diamond badge, so it would still kind of look like you were in diamond. So essentially, after every game, if you're under the minimum skill rating for your particular tier, the game will check if you've been maintaining it or not, and if you haven't been maintaining it for several games, so if you maybe lost 5 games or I don't know, something like that, you're still in diamond technically, but your rating is about 2800, you might just lose your diamond badge as a whole. So all of a sudden you are not in diamond. Competitive points awarded at the end of the season though will still be based on the highest tier earned that season, so that part of it won't change. I do think that this is kind of interesting though that they are changing this. It might just be as a thing that if you look at someone's profile and you see that their rating is about 2.5k, but they still have a diamond badge next to it, they don't want any confusion, or they don't want it to look like that player belongs in diamond. If they might have just had some lucky games and then had some non-lucky games and gone back down to where they were earlier, I'm not quite sure, but I thought this was interesting and I wanted to include it in this video. On top of this, we also have some skill rating updates, just some adjustments to how skill rating is calculated after a win or loss. Again, Blizzard don't really give us any actual details here, they just say that it's been changed and some of the issues from earlier should be fixed. So hopefully we have no more wins where you gain just 2 SR, and they're saying that they're gonna continue tuning that system, so nothing more there other than really skill rating updates. Alright, that's it for this video though. Thank you very much for watching. There was quite a lot of info to just cram into this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Do leave a like if you did, and of course subscribe for more Overwatch content as per usual. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.